Good day and welcome to another Creaky Gamers Kings of War Battle Report. Let's go roll some odd dice.
Okay, let's have a look. Goblin Rabble, 2,300 points. So we're off to a tournament tomorrow, and I've just dug out my goblins and made a list. And I've tried to keep the numbers down so it makes it simple to use. So we'll have a look at them and what have we got? Let's have a look. So we'll start at the beginning here, and I'll get my list here, and I'll go. So I have got. This is a Goblin King, the Itchy Keef his name is, but he's Groany Snark. So he's going to be flying around just for his inspiring and a little bit of combat damage and being annoying. Getting into the backfield, getting at war machines and that type of thing, characters. So that's going to be his job. I don't have Host Shadow Beast or anything. So he's just going to be on his own, helping out where he can. Then I've got this wizard Piggy Rat. Piggy Rat the wizard. He's going to be, he's mounted and he's got the inspiring talisman. And he's got knowledgeable spellcaster tier 1, so he can cast Alchemist's Curse 2. So his job will be to zip around and putting some hurt on big targets, adding a few extra wounds. That's his job. Then I've got this little wizard here. He's got Bane Chant and the Conjurer's Staff, so hopefully a reliable source of Bane Chant from him. That's going to be his job, Bane Chanting things. Then I've got a Flagot. The Flagot has got, he's Nigel No Friends, this guy, and he's got the Shroud of the Saints, so he might add a bit of healing about the place. That's his job. Alright, so Bane Chant, Lightning Bolt, and he's going to add some healing and inspiring. So that's my characters. Four little characters. That's the entourage. And then looking at the army, I've got a Mincer Mob. So it's a fairly elite goblin army, not that much rubbish in the army, just to keep it make it operational easier while I'm filming during the tournament. And this Mincer Mob, the red ones, they've got the Brewer Sharpness, so they hit on 3s. And the blue ones, they've got nothing. They're just there to get in the way and be defense 6 and so on. And then I've got 2 trombones. So 2 trombones, not that much shooting, a little bit of lightning bolt, a little bit of shooting. And then all the goblins, well, I've got a horde of rabble. They're not sharp sticks, they're just rabble. Horde of rabble, horde of spitters. So their job is just to be annoying. Nobody wants to be shot by goblins with bows. So that's their job, is to draw the enemy in, plink a few wounds on a flank or something. So they're just going to be annoying. There's a couple of regiments of rabble, just to get in the way, and that's a horde. Those two are going to be joined together as a horde of Grogger's Lug Lads, so a bit of a hitty combat power there. They might do good. I've never used them before. There's a couple of old giants there, this guy with his toupee on, and the old metal giant, so a couple of giants and a couple of more beast packs. So it's a lot of 2 of this and 2 of that and so on. So that is 2,300 points. So I'm not sure what any plans I've got, just for him to fly around, do some damage, to Bane Chant, maybe Bane Chant the Morbeast packs, or the Mincer Mobs, or the Rabble, or somebody, or the Lugget Gang, or the Grogger's Lug Lads. The Rabble just to get in the way, so it's a fairly elite goblin army. And I have no idea. So I just made up that list, decided to take the goblins, and then we'll see how it goes. So onward tomorrow to the tournament. Go Itchy Keef and the lads. Let's see how they go. Okay, so let's begin. Game 1 versus Martin and his Halflings. And the scenario is control. You know, the one with the 6 boxes, and your opponent's home zone is worth 2 victory points. So there's 3 units of the little halfling lancers with a little saucy guy in the middle there who can inspire them and give them wild charge and so on. So that's a good combination. In the middle, you've got the Iron Beast and Greedy Guts, and two hordes of the decent guys, the ones with the crushing strength and so on. And then there's the hero on the winged arrowles, the flying guy, the guy pushing the lawnmower, a couple of regiments of the good troops, a little guy there with the gnome glass shield, and his flyers out on the right flank there. So let's have a look at the goblin deployment and what I've done here. And I don't know what I've done. I've put the spitters are right up the back there. I sort of didn't want to commit them, and then I left it too late and left no gap for them to sit in a decent spot without a hill blocking their line of sight or anything. Not that they were going to do anything anyway. The sharpness mincer mob are here behind the Lugget gang, and there's a trombone there and some rabble and more beast pack. And then out on the right flank I've got a giant and the other mincer mob and a more beast pack and some rabble. So, and there's another giant on my extreme left over here. You can't see him off the screen. And a horde of rabble and a trombone in the middle. So no real plan. I just threw them all down. Yeah, so that's the deployment, and Martin got the first turn, and so he has advanced on his left flank, and his right flank all sat still basically. So the winged arrowles is going to move up behind the hill there, out of line of sight, or out of charge distance of the mincers anyway. But his cavalry on the left flank weren't real sure what they were going to do. And this is after turn 2, so we're into turn 2. My turn 2, I didn't do much, just shuffled forward and offered a charge on the mincer mob there, and his edge grenadiers have got the charge reach on me over there, so I don't know what I'm going to do. And then here he's just going to move back because I informed him that the Lugget gang, or Grogger's Lug lads, have got wild charge D3, so he's going to be a bit cagey there. And he's not really moving up on that right flank because my little whiz chucked a lightning bolt at his sorcerer, the guy with the saucepans, and wavered him. So that was lucky. I think I did one hit and rolled well. There he is there. So he just zapped that sorcerer guy in between all the cavalry. His intention was to give them all wild charge and get stuck into me. So the little whiz did his job. Okay, so we're into turn 2 here, and I did offer some charges on that right flank. Well, I didn't have much choice, really. The Edge Grenadiers and the Winged Arrowles are a lot faster than my guys. And so, to my surprise, the hero on the Winged Arrowles has charged into the giant, the old giant there. And then he's moved, the Lawnmower Man has moved up, and he's offered some charges to the mincer mob. So I'm pretty happy with that situation because I think the mincer mob's going to go after that regiment and bypass the lawnmower guy. And I don't think my giant's real worried about that winged arrowles guy. But, time will tell. But I think the Moorbeast pack is in a bit of trouble with the Edge Grenadiers going into them. And my little unit of rabble sees a whole bunch of balloon guys. Halflings riding in balloons. So I'm pretty happy with the right flank, but who knows? We'll see what happens. So, yeah, I am pretty happy with what happened on the right flank here. The winged arrowles got stomped on by the giant, though I did roll pretty well there, I think. And the Edge Grenadiers failed to break the Moorbeast pack. And in turn, the Moorbeast pack failed to break the Edge Grenadiers. So Clash of the Titans there. The mincer mob went straight ahead, took out that regiment, and then turned to face the lawnmower guy. And my little unit of rabblers charged into the balloon guys. So there's still another regiment there, which is a bit of a threat. But my mincer mob's looking good. The giant's got a few wounds on him, and I did roll pretty well with my little flag guy with his Shroud of the Saint and healed a couple of wounds. And the other little whiz there, he's got Bane Chant, and he's trying to Bane Chant the Moorbeast pack without much success. So, it could have been worse on this flank, but I'm feeling pretty confident. Let's see if things go south from here, but there's nothing happening on the other flank, although he has charged off the hill into my little horde of rabble in the middle, and I've got a trombone there behind them. Groany Snark has gone over there as well. Groany Snark flew across the table in that direction. He's just there. He flew over there to keep the winged arrowlers in check, but he went into the giant and sacrificed himself anyway, so we didn't have to worry about him. So that's the situation on the right flank. The left. So we're into Martin's third turn now, and the troll pushing the lawnmower is into the giant, and the balloon guys are going to countercharge the rabble. I hope the rabble can hold, and the Moorbeast pack are fighting the Edge Grenadiers, and I'm hoping the Moorbeast pack can hold as well. And that little regiment of halfling braves with the crushing strength have gone into the mincer mob. So I'm confident in the mincer mob holding, and the giant took some wounds, but I'm sort of hopeful that he will hold. But I think things might be going south with the Moorbeast pack and the rabble. I don't think they're going to be able to hold on long, and I don't have anything fast to help out. So I was feeling confident on this right flank, but you never could be confident in rabble and Moorbeast packs. So I don't think those rabble are going to last long. And there they are. They're gone. The rabble are gone. They're off the table there. This little horde-on-horde action here, the halflings waver those goblins actually, and as you can see here, the right flank has been exposed. The Edge Grenadiers are free to move around, and the balloon guys are free to move, so the giant's in trouble, and the mincer mob's taken a few wounds as well. So I've gone from being confident in the right flank to, oh, you can't rely on goblins, can you? No, you can't. All right, and there you can see that my little horde in the middle is wavered as well. So that's a disaster. So let's continue and let's see what happens next. Now I've got Groany Snark. He's behind the little rabble in the middle. And I was going to use him to fly over and get the winged arrowlers. The mincer mob, they're holding there, so they should be able to hold off that right flank for me for a little while at least. And so I'm going to send Groany Snark over the top into Greedy Guts. So this horde here, horde of rabble, is fighting. They're totally outclassed, so I don't expect them to last very long. There's Groany Snark. He's going to go over the top into Greedy Guts. Little do I know that Greedy Guts is actually a duelist, but so Groany Snark finds that out pretty quick. I think he fought well. He did about 9 wounds or something, but failed to kill Greedy Guts, so that will come back to haunt me later on. And that horde of rabble fighting well, but bit outclassed. Then on the left flank, they've got the sorcerer. He gets unwavered. My little lightning bolt guy's not going to waver him this turn, so it's going to be time for the cavalry to pounce. So things are going to start happening on the left flank. So yeah, they're going to go in with their wild charge and so on. And then I make my biggest mistake of the game before that happens is I send the Gruggers Lug lads. I charge them over there, get a good wild charge roll, and I charge them into the Iron Beast. So obviously I'm not going to kill the Iron Beast. It's defense 6, I think. Even though they've got lots of attacks, they only hit on 4, so they're kind of crappy for 250 points or whatever they are. So that was a big mistake, sending the Groggers Lug lads into the Iron Beast. You're going to live to regret that one, I think. So cruising around here, and I can see my right flank is about to collapse. Well, I've got the mincer mob there. They might be able to hold them all up. We'll see what happens. But things looking grim for the gobbos, and here come the charges of the halfling lancers on the left flank. Many lancers have charged, and the giant's about to get charged in the flank, and I think the aeronauts are going to go after the mincer mob. So the aeronauts charge across here into the mincer mob. The Edge Grenadiers, I think they go into the giant as well. I've got a whiz there trying to zap the Edge Grenadiers, but we made a boo-boo. They don't have the magic resistance stuff, wherever it is, spell ward. And that's the situation on the left flank. So there's lots of lancers have charged in. One into the mincer mob, so I'm happy with that one. One into the rabble. Well, that's going to be counterpunched. And the Iron Beast and the other horde of halflings took out my Grogger's lug lads. And so the middle has collapsed as well. The left flank, we've got the giant fighting some lancers. And so on. I think the giant's going to eventually finish off those lancers, and I turn the Maw-Beast pack into threat in the centre. But the battle is all about table quarters control, so I'd probably send the Maw-Beast pack into the lancers and get rid of them and then head off the other direction. And as you can see here, the battle rages everywhere. A few one-on-one combats. One-on-one combats everywhere, it seems. And Grogger's lug lads are going to die in the middle. The giant's going to die eventually. That little hero guy gets stuck into the giant.
That's going to be pretty
my
good.
Healing powers of my Flagot with his Shroud of the Saint isn't enough to save the giant. So there's some free cavalry on the left-hand side. They're free to do what they want, but the little unit of Maw-Beast gets rid of one, and the giant goes down, as I said, and then that mincer mob, my sharpness mincer mob, they're going to die as well. So in the end, there's the lawnmower guys going into 25. There's the final moments of the giant, and then a pivotal moment coming up is the mincer mob is going to double one that little character. That's going to come up. Well, that's the end of the sharpness mincers. The Iron Beast and the horde of halflings take care of them. They do 11, looks like 11 wounds to them, and so they pop as well. In the end, there's not going to be much left on either side. Although the halflings will have a couple of hordes to hold the table quarters and win the battle. And there's that little character. And my mincer mob's going to charge that little character and do a bunch of wounds and then roll the double one.
See, if the magic man who should probably be dead by now.
What's the icing on the cake? Because then that halfling horde charges into the mincer mob in the flank and takes them out. And in the end, Groany Snark dies to Greedy Guts in the middle. So that's the end of Groany Snark in the middle there. And then they're just mopping up on this flank. All I have is the spitters, and they're not going to do anything. They get taken out by the Iron Beast over a couple of rounds. I thought they might hold. I needed them to hold, but they didn't. And the Giants only unit strength 1. So it ends up being a victory to the Halflings. Pretty close. It was a good game. Lots of mistakes made on both sides, probably. And there you go. That was the pivotal moment. I rolled a double one on that little character, and then the horde was able to get into the flank of the mincer mob.
With a reroll.
Not the only pivotal moment. I was pretty lucky with my dice up until that point.
No.
Anyway, thanks for the game, Martin, and we move into round 2. Okay, well, on to round 2 versus Ogres. So it's always good when you've got another game coming, you can rack them up again and set up and your army is refreshed. And so we're playing against Trent's Ogres here, and he's got a couple of captains with crossbows there, a regiment of warriors and a croc dog guy and a horde of siege breakers. So that's his left flank, and you can see the tokens of the brown tokens we've got on the table. It's a nice map, this one. And there's two hordes of siege breakers, 2 warlocks, and I think they're regiments of warriors. One of them might be, I don't know, the frenzy guys or something, but a couple of regiments, a couple of hordes, a battery of lightning coming from those warlocks. And then on his left flank, he's got the mammoth and a regiment of warriors and another croc dog and the hero Nomagorok or something, the strong magic guy. So the scenario is raise, and so you've got to get across the table and burn those objectives to get points. And for some reason I've split my army into 2. I think I was just trying to avoid the warlocks in the middle, because my defense 4 isn't much defense against lightning, especially for the Maw-Beast. So I've got rabble and rabble horde and a giant, Maw-Beast, trombone, mincer mob, wizard, and I think Groany Snark's in there. You can see him in the middle. So that's my right hand deployment I've got Grogger's Luglads here. I thought they might be able to withstand some of the lightning. But they are only defense 4 as well, so the battery of lightning from the Warlocks is going to get stuck into them. And I've got some Spitters here, and the Sharpness Mincer Mob, the Giant, Trombone, the couple of Wizards there, or the Wizard and the Flagot with the Shroud of the Saint, and a little Regiment of Rabble, and the Moorbeast pack. So that's the situation. So I've sort of tried to avoid the middle. I could see he was deploying strong in the middle, and I didn't want to fight them, and I didn't really want to stand there in front of all the lightning. So I've sort of split up my good stuff on both flanks and trying to capture those tokens. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so continuing on here, and I'm noticing a theme with this army that I created on the hop here is that I'm outranged. I don't have much long range shooting, or I'm outcharged by everybody. But look at this, these Spitters fired across here, and they removed a regiment of Ogres, Ogre Warriors. How's that, eh? Well done, Spitters. I rolled a 6 and then another 6. So I used up all my luck with that one shot from the Spitters on turn 1. So well done, Spitters, you did your job. That's my long range firepower. And then I'm pretty much outcharged everywhere else on the table, I think. I'm getting lightning bolted, so I've got a few wounds here and there on the Rabble. The Rabble are copping it, and then Grogger's Luglads in the middle are copping some damage as well. And then the Mammoth goes into the rabble horde there. I've got a counterpunch with the Moorbeast pack and Groany Snark behind the rabble. I'm hoping the rabble will do some wounds. They do some wounds, but then this guy moves up on the hill and uses Drained Life and heals the Mammoth back up. So that's a bit of a bummer. And Grogger's Luglads in the middle cop some wounds. He's moving up some warriors there, and then it's all getting stuck in over there. The Giants into some warriors. And then as you can see here, what's going on here is Grogger's Luglads. They were getting shot to pieces, or lightning bolted to pieces, via the two Warlocks. And so I decided to charge them in. Hindered they in they went, into the flank of those warriors, and they failed to break them. So Grogger's Luglads, they weren't going to last much longer with all the lightning shooting at them. I should have kept them back in reserve, but they sort of got stuck where they were, and so they charged in, hindered 60 odd attacks, didn't do enough wounds and didn't kill those warriors. So now those warriors are free to jump out and charge my rabble there. So that was a bit of a disaster, but I was outranged in that case, although I did shoot off some Ogre warriors, so I can't complain, I suppose. But there's Grogger's Luglads went in there, failed to do enough damage, and so it allows those warriors to go into the rabble, and then the siege breakers are going to go into the flank there, and the other siege breakers are going to start heading towards my right flank. So I've got a fair few units left on the right flank, but maybe not much longer if those siege breakers get over there. Over here on the left flank, I'm outranged everywhere charge-wise, except with the Giants. But the Mincer Mob there are going to have to take a charge from the Croc Dog guy and the siege breakers. And I've still got 2 units of Mincer Mob, and they've been doing okay, I think. So they're going to have to hold. They've got a lot of work to do if they're going to pull us out of this one. But that's the situation at the moment. Grogger's Luglads, well, I've thrown them away again. That's very disappointing. Not their fault. Ugh, the stupid idiot pushing them around has stuffed them up. I should have kept them back or did something. Anyway, they got caught out, and then you can see the combat there. That's the end. That's the demise of Grogger's Luglads with a horde of siege breakers into the flank. And a bit of a combat up there, and I'm hoping I can just hold on a bit and do a bit of damage to the Mammoth, and then maybe get stuck in with Groany Snark and the Moorbeast pack. And then here, well, I've lost a unit of rabble on the left flank there to the shooting from those guys, and I have to hold. I have to hold with the Mincer Mob against the charge of the siege breakers and the Croc Dog guy.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm relying on the Mincer mob and their defence to hold out there. And we switch over to the right flank again, and I thought I'm doing pretty good here, but the rabble are holding off the mammoth, and they've done a couple of wounds to him. And I've got some rabble there, and the giant in the middle holding off some warriors, but I do have a counter punch sitting behind with the Mincer mob, the More Beast Pack, and Groany Snark is over there. And then Grogger's Lug Lads, yeah, well, I threw them away again in this game. So that's 2 out of 2 games. I've thrown them away, and they're getting pounded by the Siege Breakers. And over on the left flank, well, I'm relying on that Mincer mob to hold. And they do. They hold the charge from the Siege Breakers and the Croc Dog guy. So over there you can see the Horde of Rabble is gone, but I do have Groany Snark there. And I'm going to have my counter punch with the Mincer mob and the More Beast Pack and Groany Snark. I think maybe the mammoth comes forward. Groany Snark ends up on the flank of the mammoth somehow. And the mammoth's got a few wounds on him already, so I'm thinking, if I go in there, this is my best chance, my best fighters. With some Bane Chant, the whiz behind the More Beast Pack gets a Bane Chant off on them, so Groany Snark and the Bane Chanted More Beast Pack go into the mammoth. So I'm hoping that they will take out the mammoth. That's my only hope. And the Mincer mob will go in there, hindered, because the woods are on the corner there, take out those warriors. And the giant, I'm hoping he can hang on himself as well. So at the moment I'm thinking, yeah, the right flank's okay. I'd still have a trombone at the back to try and get rid of those characters up there, but that I think it's Nomagorok or something with Life Leech is keeping the mammoth going, and I haven't really got to get anything to get rid of him, so that's the problem. So Groany Snark will go after the mammoth. I think that's the plan. And then over here, well, this is I tried to get cute here, and I decided to countercharge the Croc Dog guy. He's actually in that little spot. So I countercharged him. Hopefully I was going to kill him and then overrun into the Siege Breakers. So I'd kill the Croc Dog and then overrun into the Siege Breakers and attack them as well, all in the one turn. But when you know it, I rolled a double one. Did a bunch of wounds to the Croc Dog guy, and then I double one-ed it. So I think I rolled 4 double ones in this game, and that was one of them. And I think if we switch over to the other flank, Groany Snark and the More Beast Pack got stuck into the mammoth and did a whole bunch of wounds, and then I rolled a 3 there. Not a double one, but a 3. So in this turn I rolled a double 1 and a 3, which didn't really help my cause. Okay, well, getting towards the end now, and the goblins are running out of troops. The mammoth survived that combat, and so he's going to countercharge with the Croc Dog Wrangler guy into the More Beast Pack. So the right flank's not going so good. The left flank, it's okay, I suppose. So the More Beast Pack's going to go. And then here, the Mincer mob holds on for quite a while, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the Mincer mob holding there. And this is the right flank here, so eventually the More Beast Pack is going to go. They don't stay around long. They hit pretty well, but they don't stay around long. It's nice having something in the Goblin list that hits on 3+. That's why I've got them in there. I like them for that. But defense 3 and 12-14 nerve, they don't hang around much. The Mincer mob's going to take out those warriors, and then the giants, he's fighting some Siege Breakers. So I think miraculously he holds for a turn, but there's more Siege Breakers coming in as well. So I think my flank there is about to collapse. Not much left there. Mincer mob hanging around. Over here, the giants fighting some warriors and one of those sergeants as well. So there you can see my left flank has collapsed, and then the Croc Dog Wrangler has gone into Groany Snark, and I think he takes out Groany Snark. Are they a duelist or something? I can't remember anyway. So he's taken out Groany Snark, and then the mammoth's into the trombone. The giant's about to die, and then all I'm going to have left over there is a wizard and a Mincer mob. So the right flank has collapsed, and then the left flank, you can see a couple of the warlocks are going to come over and finish off the Mincer mob. But the Mincer mob did pretty well. It took out the Siege Breakers and the Croc Dog Wrangler, so I was pretty happy with how they went. And then that Maw-Beast pack was waived from a bit of shooting for a couple of turns. And then the Ogre Sergeants go into the flanks of the Giant. The Giant holds, and then we get rid of one of them, and then eventually one of them takes the Giant out. So the left flank seems to be about to collapse. There's those Warlocks moving over and throwing a hail of lightning bolts into the flank of the Mincer mob. So there's the Giant. The Giant's about to fall to that guy. The Giant failed to kill him. And I think at this stage I've rolled 3 double ones. The Giant into that guy over there failed to kill him. I think I rolled a double one there. That was my 3rd one. And the right flank, I've just got a Mincer mob. That's all I've got left over on the right flank is that Mincer mob fighting a Siege Breaker horde. And on the left flank, I've just got a Giant and a Maw-Beast pack and a Trombone and a Wizard. So not much left, but we've taken a few Ogres with us as well. And here's the last double one. Yep, there's another double one. So that's the 4th double one of the game. So well done, Trent. I think he burnt a couple of more objectives than me, but there's not much left on the table. But he does have 1 unit of Siege Breakers left and a Mammoth. He's off his base at the moment, and a few characters, and he burnt a couple of more objectives than I did, and he's got a character holding that objective in the middle as well. So I didn't have anything left really to hold objectives. My Spitters survived there at the back, but again I feel as though I lack some long range oomph. I'm getting outcharged by everybody. I don't have the charge range. My Mincer mobs only charge 5, 10 inches, and the Giants, well, they need to be supported. And so, well, let's rack them up again and move on to battle number 3. Okay, so round 3. So, bottom of the table clash versus Vince and his Twilight Kin. So, since the last time I played Vince, he's added a little bit more shooting. So, as you can see, he's got 3 regiments of Glade Stalkers and some of the Sea Guard there as well. And then those pink things you can see up the top there, they are actually Mind Screechers. So there's 61 shots plus the Mind Screech battery as well. So naively I thought I'll move my Mincer mobs up there. Defense 6, no worries, they'll hold. So I've pushed up to try and grab the middle token. Then the scenario is loot. So you can see I'm holding a loot token with the Grogger's Lug Lads there. He's got a regiment of knights with sharpness and some other chaff units, butchers and so on. And but the main focus is the shooting in the middle. So I've this is after my turn 1. I've moved up. Grony Snark's flown up the left flank, thinking that he'll sneak around and maybe shut down some of the shooting. And they're the 2 Mind Screechers, and I wasn't prepared for this much shooting. I thought they might have toned down shooting in 3rd edition, but anyway, we haven't been playing with that much shooting. But this was more like a game of 40k or something. 61 shots. They just sort of picked units and deleted them. But I didn't really have to move up in the middle, so I sort of fell into the trap. Newbie mistake there, and I've got there's a little bit of a combat on the right flank between some rabble and some butchers, but that's inconsequential to the grabbing of the loot tokens. So there's my line. I've moved up in the middle, and I'm thinking, I'll move up, hide behind the Mincer mobs, grab that token and sneak back. And then I thought I'll send the Mincer mobs forward and they'll be able to shut down the shooting. But then I find out that the Twilight Kin Glade Stalkers have all got the Hammer of Measured Force, so my defense 6 wouldn't have meant anything anyway. And I'm out charged by them. They all charge 12 and I only charge 10. So, yeah, I didn't really play this one too well. And I'm still lacking some long-range threats of my own. So the idea of the combat goblins hasn't really worked out for me. So we're losing units left, right and centre here. And I think he puts some wounds onto the Mincer mobs, and then he just takes the rabble horde out. He did 15 wounds from shooting onto the rabble horde. So the rabble horde are gone. It didn't matter if I put them out in front. They just got shot off anyway. And then I'm trying to sneak Groany Snark around the left flank. Groany Snark goes up the left flank, and then they just turn one unit of Gladestalkers around, shoot Groany Snark, and he gets shot off the table. So he didn't do anything either. So he's up there on the left flank, and he gets shot off the table just by one unit. So that didn't work. Once that didn't work, I had to take a charge from the Sharpness Knights. So they went in and took out that Mincer mob. And the other Mincer mob's just getting shot off the table. So eventually both those Mincer mobs are going to go. So I've lost a Horde and two Mincer mobs. Well, the charge of the Knights as well finished that Horde guys off. So we don't have anything left in the centre. So we're just holding some tokens on the left-hand side. And you can see Groany Snark's there. And that regiment of Gladestalkers just turns and shoots him off the table. So that was the end of Groany Snark there. And then he's just charged up to try and block off some of my counter charges. The Knights take out the Mincer mob, and then in turn I turn the Trombones onto the Mincer mob, onto the Knights. So the two Trombones and maybe an Alchemist's Curse on the Knights as well wavers them, so I don't get rid of them. So I'll get rid of them next turn or something, but at least I wavered them, stop them charging through and doing more damage. But losing my Mincer mobs means I've lost my main combat punch. My defense 6 didn't do anything for me. And I've got a couple of giants there trying to get some cover behind the hill. Maybe I should have rushed them all up. But if I rushed them all up, they could have countercharged me with their poison attacks anyway. So it wouldn't have done much good. So that's the Knights are wavered there. That's the Mincer mob in the middle on the hill. They've taken the loot token in the middle. But they're surrounded, so the regiment of Gladestalkers took out Groany Snark, so all the others, and the Mind Screech battery as well, is just going to delete those Mincer mob off there as well. So my only real hope was to fly Groany Snark up and sneak in and try and pin down one of the regiments, but he wouldn't have lasted long in the counterpunch anyway. So yeah, that's that regiment there that shot Groany Snark up. So I'm trying to hide behind the hills and the terrain to limit some of the shooting, but it's just too much for the Goblins. We don't have any threat of our own, so we don't have any long-range shooting or long-range charges. Maybe some Fleabag Riders or something might have helped me. But I can see why people take the lots of hordes and things and just add some rock lobbers. Maybe add some rock lobbers or something might have helped me. But 61 shots coming at you, and I think, 6 each from the Mind Screechers, so 12 lightning bolts. And then my own little spitters were shooting at some guys, and he had like a banner of stealth or something, so my spitters were hitting on 6s. That's my only long-range threat, and they hit on 5s anyway, so they were useless. And the Trombones, that one there survived getting shot for a turn, but he's just picking units and shooting them, taking off whoever he wants, so it's a bit like a game of 40k at the moment. There's my little rabble regiment fighting some butchers, but that was nowhere near any tokens, so it didn't really matter in the battle. Yeah, so totally outclassed in this game and outmaneuvered, and now the gang Grogger's lug lads are copying it, and so they decide to charge over and get into the flank of a Mind Screech. I thought if I charge over there, I've got one wound on me, I'm not going to last to the shooting, so I charged over, hit the Mind Screech in the flank, 60 attacks, and then I rolled a double 1. So that was the end of Grogger's lug lads again. So another double 1 at a crucial time. So Grogger's lug lads in the middle, they're getting smashed, and then they're turning, all the Gladestalkers are charging in and fighting Morbeast packs, and the Mind Screechers zapping us as well. So in the end, I'm just going to hang on to 2 tokens, one with a rabble unit hiding behind the impassable terrain, and one on the giant. And the Grogger's lug lads have to give up their token. So I think Vince is going to end up with like 4 tokens to 2. And lots of dead goblins on the table. Well, that's it. So that was the end of that game. So another loss, 3 losses to the Goblins. And I think I can see why people add a little bit of long-range shooting to the Goblins. They don't fight very well. I tried, but the best I can do is the mincer mobs. They can hit pretty hard. I was happy with them. I was happy with the Giants. They did okay. But rabble are just rubbish to get in the way. You can use screening and so on, but I got outranged, outcharged by Ogres and outshot by Ogres. And then outplayed in game 1 by the Halflings and a couple of double ones at crucial times. It was a closer game. And then finally this game here, totally outranged and no long-range threats. And I could have held back a bit maybe. Maybe I could have played it a bit different. I didn't realise the shooting would be that strong, but it really was. There were 61 shots. And I went and sat on the hill for them, so you just pick off units as you go. And any chaff, if I put the chaff out the front, they would have got shot off as well. So, lessons learned. The Goblins need a little bit of long-range threat. Maybe some fleabag riders, maybe some rock lobbers, and some spear chuckers, sharp stick throwers, and big rock throwers. Lightning bolt, a little bit of lightning bolt, but maybe not as much as others. And maybe a host shadow beast for Groany Snark to make him a little bit more effective and use him better. That game I just got him shot off the table, but I thought he might be able to. He's a small target. They turned and just one regiment of Gladestalkers turned and shot him off the table. So maybe I should have kept him behind a unit and then jumped out or something. Well, in hindsight. But I thought I'll take the risk. If he gets up there and shuts down some of the shooting, it might help. But it didn't work out. Anyway, so thanks for the games, guys. Lessons learnt by the Goblins. The combat Goblins need to be rethought a bit. And they do need some artillery support, I think. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for the games, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This show is awful, terrible, disgusting.
See you next week.
Of course.